What is up, guys? Aviation 24 here, coming at you with another airport update for you guys. And today we're doing another Eastern Liberty airport update for you guys. This is airport update number 92. We got a comment the last time saying that asking about the time frame. So from now on, for all airport updates, they're all going to be time frame based. They're no longer just going to be like just set up randomly. They're all going to be time frame. So the time frame for this airport update is going to be in the early mornings around like 12 o'clock, between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get started here with the aircraft in front of here, which is the Avianca Airbus A320, and this plane is currently jetting down runway 31 left for its flight out to Bogota, Colombia. And next up here we have the Copa Airlines Boeing 737-800. This plane is currently waiting for the runway to be cleared for its departure out to Panama City, Panama. Right here over by Terminal A, here we have the JetBlue Airbus A321. This plane is currently being pushed back for its 30-minute delayed departure out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is JetBlue's late flight that they have. It's usually supposed to depart at 11:30, but the flight has obviously been delayed due to 30 minutes due to rowdy passengers. So yeah, it's good to try to get the flight back on track now. And next up here we have the mighty FedEx MD-11F. This plane is currently taxiing towards runway 31 left as well for its departure out to Memphis, Tennessee. And next up for aircraft on the taxiway, here we have the DHL MD-11F. This aircraft has just arrived in from Shanghai, China via Chicago, Illinois. So a lot of the cargo aircraft you're going to see here, a lot of the ones that come from Asia, they mostly have a stopover in Chicago or Anchorage. So yeah, just like this flight, this one has made a stop over in Chicago coming in from Shanghai. Right here on landing on runway 4 left, here we have the Delta Airbus A321 in a thank you livery. This plane has just arrived in from Las Vegas, Nevada. Alright guys, so moving on to Terminal C, hard stands over here. Hiding behind the maintenance hangar over here, we have the American Eagle CRJ-900 operated by PSA. And this aircraft is going to be making a departure out to Greensboro, North Carolina. Alright guys, so for this shot right here, I'm just going to do one big shot for these 4 planes right here. So right here in focus, right here where I'm pointing, here we have the Honeywell Boeing 757-200. This plane currently has no destination right now, so it's just sitting here at the hard stands until it has its next mission to go on. And then moving on to the aircraft right next to it, here we have the American Airbus A320 with its later departure out to Dallas, Texas later this morning. And right next to him, here we have the American Boeing 737-800 with the American Airlines winglets. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Phoenix, Arizona. And right here in the foreground here, and focus now, here we have the Spirit Airbus A321. This plane is supposed to be making a departure later this morning out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Alright guys, so now moving on to the main Terminal C here. We're going to start off here over with the regional aircraft as per usual, where we have to your right of the screen, where we have an Air Canada Express Embraer E175, operated by Jazz Aviation with its departure out to Montreal, Quebec later this morning. And then to the left of the screen, we have a Air Canada Express CRJ-900, with it's going to be making a departure out to Toronto this morning. Alright, so now moving on to the Delta portion of Terminal C here, which is still underneath construction. As you can see, I added a new piece of green cardboard here. As you guys saw from the tutorial that I made for you guys so far, we only made it to part 1, so we have to work on the interior, like I'll show you in part 2. But other than that, we're going to start off here with the aircraft in focus, which is the Delta Boeing 737-800 in the SkyTeam livery with its departure out to Salt Lake City, Utah. And then right next to him, in the middle of the screen, here we have the Delta CRJ-900 with its departure out to Buffalo, New York. And then all the way back here in the background, here we have the Delta 757-200 with its departure out to Bogota, Colombia. Alright, now moving down further down Terminal C, we have another Delta, but this is an Airbus A320 this time with its departure out to Tampa, Florida later this morning. And then in the foreground here, we have the Airbus A321 operated by Delta with its departure out to Seattle, Washington later this morning. And then moving down a little bit more, we still have some more Delta planes to go through, where we have the CRJ 900, which is in focus right now in the background, which has its departure set out to Richmond, Virginia. And then in the foreground in front of you is the Delta Airbus A321, with its departure later this morning out to San Antonio, Texas. And the last two aircraft for Terminal C, which is going to wrap us up here for Terminal C. First one in the background is the WestJet Boeing 737-800, sporting the old color scheme. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Calgary, Alberta. And in the foreground right in front of you, here we have the Breeze Embraer E195 with this departure out to Portland, Maine. Alright guys, so now moving on to Terminal B here, which is mainly housing American Airlines, Southwest Airlines temporarily, World Atlantic Airlines temporarily as well, and Alaska Airlines temporarily until Terminal C is fully constructed. But yeah, so continuing on with the aircraft in front of you, first up we have the American Eagle Embraer E175, which is the one in focus in the background. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then the one in the foreground that's closest to you guys is the American Eagle Embraer E175 with its departure out to Columbus, Ohio. Next up, here we have more American Airlines aircraft for you guys. First up in the background is the American 737-800. This plane is going to be making a late departure this morning out to Cancun, Mexico. And in the background, just getting his final bags loaded onto the aircraft for its departure out to Los Angeles, California as American Flight 1, as it always does, the earliest flight for American Airlines anyways. Moving down further down the line for American, this is the last of the American mainline at the terminal. Here we have in the background the American A319. This plane is going to be making the departure out to Washington, D.C. And then in the foreground in front of you is the American MAX 8 with its departure out to Dallas, Texas. Alright, so now moving down to the Southwest Airlines section of the terminal that's going to temporarily be here. Starting off with the first one in the background, which is in the regular livery, which is the Southwest 737-800 with this departure out to New Orleans in Louisiana. And then in the foreground in front of you guys is the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Yuma 1. This is an inaugural flight, by the way, for its flight out to Montego Bay, Jamaica. Now coming around to the other end of Terminal B, to the left of the screen, here we have the World Atlantic MD-83. This plane is going to have a departure later this morning out to Miami, Florida. And to the right of the screen is the Alaska Boeing 737 MAX 9, where it's going to have its departure out to San Francisco. Now moving on to the other side of Terminal B, starting us off is the Alaska Boeing 737-900 ER in the UNCF livery. This plane is currently about to get ready soon for its flight out to Portland, Oregon. They're going to start bringing around the baggage belts and everything to start getting the aircraft ready for its departure very soon. And right here over at the international gate is the American Eagle Embraer E145. This plane is operated on behalf of Piedmont Airlines, and this plane is going to be making a short flight out to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. And last but not least for Terminal B tonight for this airport update is the American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER. This plane has currently just arrived in from Sao Paulo, Brazil. As you can see, it has all the baggage, the tractors, coming in with the jet bridge, with the air stairs, So yeah, pretty heavy flight. Now moving on to the Terminal A North side here, where we have Delta Airlines and other SkyTeam members. Starting us off strong here. Here we have the Delta Airbus A350-900. This plane has arrived in about 30 minutes ago from Tokyo Haneda Airport. Right next to him is the Delta Boeing 757-300. This plane is going to be making a flight out to Atlanta, Georgia. And next up here we have the Delta Boeing 767-300ER. This plane is going to be making the early morning departure around 8 o'clock for its flight out to Barcelona, Spain. And right here, just resting, is the Emirates Airbus A380 in the Expo Dubai livery. This aircraft has arrived in from Dubai, but it initially arrived into New York International, which is CVG Spotter airport, and then it repositioned back over here at Eastern Liberty for its departure later this morning out to Dubai. Alright guys, so now move back to Delta domestic aircraft now. In the background here is the Delta 737-900ER. This plane is going to be getting ready for its flight out to NASA in the Bahamas later this morning. And then in the foreground closest to you guys is the Delta Airbus A319. This plane has just arrived in from Key West, Florida. And last but not least, for the Delta Airlines terminal here for this airport update, in the background right here is the Delta CRJ 700 operated by Endeavor. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Indianapolis in Indiana. And in the foreground in front of you guys is the Delta Airbus A320 with its departure out to Nashville, Tennessee. Now moving on to Terminal A's temporary hard stand. Starting us off to the left of your screen, not to the left, to the right of your screen is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Freedom 1 livery. This plane is going to be making a departure this morning out to Chicago, Illinois. And then towards the middle, which is the United Express Embraer E170. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Burlington, Vermont. And then closest to you on the forward screen or the bottom of the screen is the United Express Bombardier CRJ 550 operated by GoJet. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Pasquale Isle in Maine. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but next time I'll get it right. I'm sorry, don't yell at me. Alright guys, so now moving on to the cargo stands here. In the background here, starting us off, is the Prime Air. Not the drink, guys, okay? Don't get it confused with the drink now. But it's a Boeing 767-300F with its departure out to Cincinnati, Kentucky, which is where Amazon has their big warehouse with their aircraft there. And then in the foreground in front of you guys is a cargo jet Boeing 767-300F with its departure out to Bermuda. And next up right here we have our beautiful Lufthansa cargo MD-11F. This plane is currently getting the last bit of cargo on board the aircraft on the front forward the lower deck. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Frankfurt, Germany. And last but not least, but right here we have the Behemoth Boeing 747-8 in the UPS Airlines livery. This plane is currently getting a whole bunch of pallets loaded on the upper deck and lower deck of the aircraft for its flight out to East Midlands in the United Kingdom. So there's definitely a whole bunch of parasails going from New York to England. And finishing us up for the cargo stands here for tonight's airport update. In the background here we have the Nippon Cargo Boeing 747-8 with its arrival from Tokyo Haneda via Chicago, Illinois. And then in the foreground right in front of you is the Magma Cargo Boeing 747-BCF with its arrival from Liège, Belgium. Alright guys, so now moving back over to Terminal A, but this is the south side now, housing United Airlines, Star Alliance members, JetBlue, Frontier, and Sun Country, and Flair Airlines. But starting us off here with the JetBlue, we have the JetBlue Airbus A321 in the background. This aircraft is going to be making a departure out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then right next to him in the Bluebird's tail is the Airbus A320 for JetBlue heading out to Bozeman, Montana. And then in the foreground for you guys is the JetBlue Airbus A321, which is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Bridgetown, Barbados. Now last but not least, here we have the JetBlue Airbus A320 in the Mosaic tail. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Orlando, Florida. Now moving over to United Airlines, where we start off strong here with the United Boeing 767-300ER. This plane has just made its late arrival from Marrakech, Morocco. Alright, next to him here we have the United Boeing 777-200ER. This plane is going to be making a later departure this morning out to Barcelona, Spain. Alright, next to him here we have the United Boeing 777-300ER. For this aircraft is going to be making a later departure this morning out to Tokyo Haneda Airport in Japan. Alright, so last but not least for the heavy aircraft at Terminal A entirely, here we have the Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 787-9, which just made an arrival about 2 hours ago from Lome, Togo. Alright, so now moving on to the main United section here with a lot of their domestic aircraft. To the right of your screen, which is the closest aircraft to you guys, which is the United Boeing 737-800, which just made an arrival from Denver, Colorado. And then to the middle of the screen is United Boeing 737-900ER in a Continental retro livery, which is just going to make a departure later this morning out to Argadillo in Puerto Rico. Sorry if I butchered that, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then to the right of your screen is United Airbus A320, which has a maiden arrival from Austin, Texas. Alright guys, so moving further down Terminal A here, where we're going to start off here with the United Airbus A321neo. This is the on-time arrival from Denver, Colorado as the 737-800, which I've meant to put in as the delayed one, which is delayed by an hour and 30 minutes. Well, the A321neo is the on-time flight. So yeah, it arrived in from Denver, Colorado, and it's getting the bags removed. And then in the middle of the screen here, where we have the beloved Hurricane here, New York livery, Boeing 757. This plane is going to be making a early morning departure out to San Francisco in California, which is about to leave in 25 minutes. And then in the foreground here of the screen is the United Boeing 737 MAX 10, which is going to be making a later departure this morning out to Las Vegas. Now moving towards the tip of Terminal A here, we do have two aircraft here. The one to the right of the screen, more towards the background, which is the United Express Embraer E145. This plane is going to be making a departure this morning out to Wilmington, North Carolina, and it made an arrival, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then we have the Air Canada's Airbus A220 in the TACA retro livery here. This plane is going to be making a later departure this morning out to Toronto, Ontario. All right, guys, so we're now doing another tri-shot again. We're gonna start off with the aircraft that's in the foreground, which is in front of you guys, which is the United Express CRJ 900, operated by Mesa Airlines. This plane is going to be making a flight out to Ithaca in upstate New York. And then in the middle of the screen here, we do have our beloved Boeing 757-200 in United Airlines livery, but this time is in the California Hurricane livery, a special livery I should say. But this plane is going to be making a early morning departure out to Las Vegas, Nevada, which is why you see the baggage course there. And then on the background here, we have the United Boeing 737-800 in the Starlines livery. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Jacksonville, Florida. Then wrapping us up for the main Terminal A here, we have another shot of 4 aircraft this time now instead of 3. In the foreground, we have the United Boeing 757-200 in the older, Continental mergers scheme. This plane is going to be making a departure this morning out to Los Angeles. And then right next to him is the United Boeing 737 MAX 8, which is going to be making a departure out to San Pedro Sula in Honduras. And then next to him is the United Airbus A321neo. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Tampa, Florida. And then in the background, and last but not least, is the United Boeing 757-200 in a new livery, which is going to be making a departure, which is another new route out to Mangala, Spain, which is a very small airport in Spain. But yeah, this is part of the United's expansion plans in their networks. So yeah, pretty cool to see. Now moving on to Terminal A's H gates, which is the last bit of this airport update. We have our beloved and dear favorite Frontier Airbus A320neo. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Atlanta, Georgia. Alright, so moving on a little bit over at the H gates here for Terminal A, we do have 2 United aircraft right in front of you. The closest to you, which is the United Airbus A320. This plane is going to be making a departure later this morning out to Boston, Massachusetts. And then in the background, further away from you guys, is another United Boeing 757 MAX 8. This plane is going to be making a departure out to Seattle, Washington. And then we have the last shot here for this airport update, which has 3 United aircraft here. The one close to you in the foreground, which is the United 737 MAX 9. This plane is going to be making a departure out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. In the middle of the screen here is the United Boeing 737-900ER, which is going to be making a departure out to Nashville, Tennessee. And then in the background, which is the United Boeing 737-700, which is going to be making a departure out to Santa Ana in California. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude for this airport update. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I see that you guys been watching that workshop update for you guys that I made for the you know, how to make a realistic airport terminal building on a 400 scale. You guys seem to be liking that. Part 2 is going to be coming out soon. I've got to start recording that for you guys and, you know, showing you the what basically that video is going to be, is going to basically show you how to make the small details like interior before we move on to the second floor. So yeah, we gotta, you know, basically gotta go by floor and like the details and everything and how to make them. So yeah, not really much other to say than you know, we're still doing that giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys do subscribe, because we are the number first of all, we are the #1 and the original Aviation 24. Okay, so all the other ones are, you know, they're just copying our names, to be honest here. But yeah, yeah, so make sure you guys do subscribe. You know, also check out our sponsor as always in our videos, which is Texan Airplane Store. They are going to be at a airliner show in Orlando on March 29th. So if you guys are interested in going, we're trying to see if we can go and fit that in the schedule. So we're trying to look for flights and everything. So yeah, we're most likely going to be there. So if you guys want to see us, we will be there. So yeah, we still have some planes for sale. We have the American Airbus A319 and the Allegheny Retro, United 737-900 in the Eco Skies, and the Icelandair 757-200. They're still up on eBay. If you guys are interested in those planes or any like safety cards and stuff, I'll link the eBay in the description below so you guys can check it out. But yeah, as of that being said, that's gonna conclude for this report update. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.